I still see people using interest and lookalike audiences to target their audience through meta ads and wonder why, at the end of the day, the return on ad spend is low. And if you're using interest or lookalike, that's probably because you don't understand how the meta algorithm now works, especially post-Andromeda. That's exactly what we do in our agency, and we spend millions every month on paid ads. And in this video, guys, I will show you exactly what to do, especially now after Andromeda. Things have changed, so if you're using interest and lookalike audience, I hope after this video you're not gonna do it anymore. First thing to say is that this method actually works, because as you can see, this is like one of our clients spending 60k last 28 days, 220k revenue, 3.62x ROAS. These other brands applying the same strategy, last 30 days, 37k spent, 125k revenue, 3.38x ROAS. And this other brand here spent 210k in October, and we got 831k in revenue for a 3.95x return on the ad spend. So as you can see, this method actually works, because we've been using this to actually generate these kind of results that you saw just now on my screen. Now, after Andromeda, you need to understand that Meta works as a full funnel advertising platform. That means that the game has changed. So this is also explained by GEM, which is the new AI model, the brain behind Andromeda, that deliver ads in specific sequences to optimize the entire journey. So right now, GEM distribute ads by optimizing the journey, the sequences, so the ad sequence, rather than optimizing a single ad. And this is basically what it looks like. GEM plus Andromeda is equal to full funnel ad distribution. So once you understand this, you have a better understanding of how to target people at different stages of the funnel. Now, when it comes to actual specific targeting about demographics, audience, and everything, what you need to understand is that Meta right now uses creative signals to target your audience even more compared to before. So what is completely useless right now is basically interest targeting a lookalike audience. Right now, you can't even restrict on some other account to interest only on Meta, as it forces you to keep interest as a suggestion only. So whatever you do, you don't have the tick anymore. So you cannot untick the tick and say, oh, just target exactly who I'm targeting, because some other account, this function is not even available anymore. And this is actually it should be a clue for you to understand, okay, where is Meta moving and why you are not moving with Meta. Like, you need to stop using interest and the lookalike audience, basically, because Meta is actually forcing you to do that. Now, this means that including an interest or not doesn't change anything in terms of targeting. And this is a simple graph that explains everything. So let's say this is your ad creative. Whether you're doing broad targeting, interest targeting, or lookalike targeting, the outcome is going to be the same. The only difference is that when it comes to broad, this is the audience pool, the broad audience pool, right? Let's say it's 20 million. Now, your ad is most likely going to appeal only to a smaller audience. Let's say it's 1 million or 500,000 people. Now, if you use interest targeting, this is the broad audience, the broad targeting. The interest targeting is limiting the potential reach to these sides here. Let's say it's 10 million, but you don't know exactly if this 10 million includes your audience or not. This is what you believe that you're doing through interest and lookalike audiences, which is basically the same thing here. But in reality, it could be wrong, because, you know, Meta don't always have all the specific data about people that you want to target. But at the end of the day, whatever you're doing, the ad is still gonna target the same people. That means that, as you can see, this is your ad creative, right? And then this is the audience. So ideally, you will reach only this part of people within your ad that your ad creatives can reach. But in reality, Meta has the automatic expansion. So from this, it's gonna go bigger and it will go here. Now, the difference is that if you do this, you're limiting Meta to don't see the full picture right from the beginning. And by doing this, you're restricting Meta to have the right data right from the start and to optimize much faster. Because I'm telling Meta, I want to start from this audience, but you don't know yet if this audience is your audience or not, because it's not going to be precise. And same thing for the lookalike audience. And this is what you need to understand. By keeping everything broad, you're going to have just better signals, a broader audience, and this is how you scale. Whatever you're targeting in terms of broad targeting, interest targeting, lookalike audience, you will still reach the reachable audience by the creative itself. If you use interest and lookalike, you're not going to give Meta right from the start the right signals, because you're going to limit the data that Meta can have, because you're putting some restriction, and Meta cannot have all the information right from the beginning of the time that you actually launch an ad. What you might see is that interest to lookalike might look good at the beginning. That means because by restricting the audience, you're reaching a little bit better people at the beginning, but then what is going to happen is that the performance in the long term will be the same, or most likely, actually 99% of the time, broad will outperform interest on lookalike. And so by having only broad, you're basically just starting with an audience that you can scale yourself without having the thought to be like, oh, maybe I'm reaching the maximum audience and so I need to stop the creative because there is a creative fatigue. So what you want to do, you want to avoid all this possible thinking when you judge the creatives, and you want the creatives to be the main priority in terms of like judging and understanding whether an ad, the ad account overall is working or not. Now let's talk about the actual targeting. So how you actually target specific people. Let me give you an example. Let's say you want to target 45 years old women looking for a cream that helps reduce wrinkle, high purchase power individuals who can spend 500 plus for a luxury skincare cream, something like that. Okay, so you don't have to do this. What you have to do is basically show elevated creative, high quality visual, add copy reference to the solution of the people that you want to target that they're looking for, so reduce 95% of the wrinkle in 2 weeks. And also you need to show the price most likely, because otherwise you're gonna get clicks from the wrong people. Now, why this is wrong? Because the messaging here is just too broad. Anti-aging cream is too broad, right? Then the product, the images here are just showing the product. They're not showing your target audience. And then Meta can't understand who is your target audience, because if you add more relevancy to the audience that you want to target within the creative itself, and you can add this relevancy point through the actual copy and the actual visual. By having copy and visual that match your audience, Meta is going to understand what the creative is about, and so it can specifically target the audience that you want. So a stupid test that you can do is take your creative, put it inside the ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT what audience specifically this creative is targeting on Meta. And you will understand, because ChatGPT is going to read the image, understand what is going on. And this is the same concept because Meta uses AI. And AI reads the image, reads the copy, reads the visual, reads everything, and understand who to target based on the inputs of your creative. Cool. So what is the correct thing to do? This is let's say almost the correct thing to do, just because I couldn't find the perfect example, the like 100% correct example. But this is like a very almost correct example. So as you can see, let's say this is still the audience you want to target. 45 plus women looking for skincare cream that can help them reduce wrinkles, high purchase power, who can spend a lot of money for a skincare. Now, what you want to do, these are like some of the good elements here. So the first thing is that the actual creative is high production. So by having a good quality creative, a good quality image, you're automatically putting your product in a different level, because you're saying, okay, this is high quality, the image is high quality, and you're giving that luxury vibe. First thing. Second thing is showing the price is a good thing, because by showing the price, people can actually relate and be like, oh, this cream is 170 or 130 US dollar. It's very expensive for a cream. And then another thing is showing a human being within the ad. And of course, the copy must be super relevant. Now, what is not correct about here? The ideal thing is to have a mix of these two. So show the price and the target audience. The thing is that this image here, in like to match our example, it should show a woman around 45 years old, rather than this person here. Okay, so something that relates more to the age range is the ideal thing that you want to do. And the message is good, but needs to be a little bit more clear, more specific by the target audience. Usually what we do that works very well is actually saying, like writing in the copy, the audience. So help reduce wrinkle for 45 years old women, or whatever. Or like, you know, it just like mention, and now this is a very cheap copy, but like the idea is that by mentioning the age, like on your 40s, 40s women, you know, these kind of things, helps Meta to understand who your audience is. And all this stuff that can give Meta a better understanding of your audience, even the pricing thing, is gonna help to improve the targeting of people that you want to reach. And this concept applies basically to all the ads you're running. So whether you're running ads for a supplement brand, whether you're running ads for whatever, like a fashion brand, whatever you want to do, you want to make sure that your ads is specific for the audience that you want to target. And then of course the messaging and the concept of the ads must be shaped based on the user awareness stages that you're targeting. Because if you're targeting only the like most aware audience, product aware or solution aware, most likely you're gonna be stuck at a specific growth. Like you probably cannot spend more than 20k a month, 30k a month with a good ROAS. So you need to go to more like an unaware audience or problem aware audience in order to expand. And so by doing this, but this is like another type of exercise, but just keep in mind that whatever you're targeting, you need to do it through visual and text. And by doing this and literally just calling out your audience that you want to target, you're most likely going to improve the performance of your ads. That's basically it for this video, guys. If you have any question, feel free to leave a comment, leave a like to this video. If you like it, of course, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.